Hi, welcome to this warm it up class. We're going to be moving, getting our body flowing with gentle movements today. You just need a blanket and a mat. Optionally, you could have other things like blocks or bolsters or extra blankets, but those are all not required. So we're going to be working on moving all the parts of the body and just feeling really good and released. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer. Enjoy the class. So let's go and come into a comfortable seated pose. Close the eyes. Let's do 5 physiological sighs. 2-part inhale, exhale through the mouth. You can sigh it out. And one more. And then let's check in with our emotional state today. Maybe there's multiple things going on. Just notice each. And for each different emotion, notice where they are manifesting in your body. And now take your attention and bring it to your thought patterns. Notice if there's anything on your mind today. And then let's set an intention for the practice. Bring the hands together. We will start with an Om. Inhale. Om. And softly open the eyes. All right. So we're going to warm it up. We're going to start off nice and slow. So inhale, coming around in a big circle. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. And as we go around, let's just check the starting point of our experiment today. How are the hips? And then let's reverse. And come to the center. We're going to rock on our sits bones. So bring the hands onto the ankles. Keep the chin pretty level as we inhale forward, exhale back. So it's trying to warm up the belly, the lower back, the hips, the breath. Now let's bring our hands on our knees and bring the movement into our upper back, the thoracic spine. Pull the shoulder blades together when you push the chest forward. So when you come forward, really press through the collarbones and then pulling yourself into it's like a little seated cat-cow. Just getting the spine warm. And then bring the hands to the shoulders. We'll inhale to the right, exhale to the left. You can close the eyes so you don't get dizzy. And then we're going to stop in the middle and then bring the elbows directly up. Bring them down, squeeze up. The more you squeeze, the more you're engaging the triceps. You can squeeze between the collarbone or the shoulder blades. Really can make this into a nice strengthening workout pose. And now we're going to take the legs out wide and bring the right heel in outside the sits bone. Set the knee down. Bring your hands onto your shoulders so that you don't use your hands to help. Bring the foot out. So we're bringing the foot in. Exhale the knee down. Inhale the knee up. Exhale the foot out. You can do a little twist when you do it. Twisting towards the straight leg. Strengthening our hips, working our flexibility. All right, one more on each side. And then we're going to bring the feet a little bit wider than the mat. And then drop the knees over to the right. And then we're going to lift up onto the shin. Again, keeping our hands in no cheating mudra on the shoulders, and then drop the knees over to the left, pushing up onto our left shin. So the key here is to really keep the feet very wide. So my feet are not moving. My feet are staying in the same spot the whole time. And I'm pushing through my glutes to lift up. So inhaling up, exhale down. All right, one more on each side. Good. Stretch out the legs. You can just stretch them out, windshield wiper. Okay. So we're going to lift the leg up one at a time. So pushing through the heel, you can, if you're finding yourself falling backwards, you can push up with your hands and then lift the heel, lift through the heel, pushing, lifting one leg at a time. So we're lifting each leg. This is warming up our hamstrings. So inhale up, exhale down. The more you push through the heel, pulling the toes towards the face, the more you're engaging the back of the leg and the more it will hurt. So we're working on our psoas strength. It's the muscle at the top. You could put your hand there and feel it engaging the top of the hip, the front of the hip. And we're also working the back of the leg, the hamstring and the calf. All right, one more on each side. And then we're going to work on our upper body a little bit. So I'm already getting warm, so I got to take off my sweater. Oh, warm it up yoga. Okay, so we're going to do a little pattern with our shoulders to warm up the shoulders. And the way this works is we're going to exhale the elbows back. Anytime you're exhaling back, you're going to be, every time you bring your elbows back, you're exhaling. Inhale the right arm on top, exhale the elbows back, inhale the left arm on top. Make sure you have nice parallel arms. So check your lines, nice parallel, exhale back. And then we're going to inhale all the way up, elbows just like we were earlier. So make sure you don't hit yourself. It happened in class the other day. Someone hit themselves. Okay, exhaling back. So move at your own pace. You can close your eyes. Right on top. Left on top. Elbows up. So you can go at your own pace. Fast or slow. But engage your biceps as you do this. Engage, make fists with your hands. It will engage the muscles more. And when you lift up, engage the triceps. Oh, all right, last one. Last one of the pattern. Whew, and then shake it out. Awesome. Warm it up, warm it up. Okay, so we'll come onto our back and do some back focused things. So if you want to use a blanket under your head, you can do that. Also, if you have space, if you have anything you're running into, you can pull your mat away from the wall so that you can reach your arms overhead. So we're going to come on our back, and we're going to start off by just rocking the knees back and forth. You can put your hands on your belly or the side or wherever feels good. And we'll inhale to the right, exhale to the left. So we're just gently starting to warm up our sacrum, the back of the hips, in a different direction than we were warming up the hips earlier. And now let's make the rock a little bigger. So taking the legs almost all the way down to the floor on each side, inhaling to the right and exhaling to the left. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so now we're going to take the left elbow to the right knee, cross body, stretching the right leg out,
So you can make this harder by bringing the foot nearer to the ground. Then we're going to take the right leg out and bring the right elbow to the left knee. The right leg will hover over the ground. So if that's too hard, you can always set the leg down. So let's inhale the left elbow to the right knee. Exhale the other direction. All right, one more in each direction. Then just rest. You can put your arms overhead or by your side, wherever feels nice. And just give yourself a little mini Shavasana. All right, so you can leave the legs straight or bend them, whichever one feels better on your lower back. We're gonna reach the arms up towards the ceiling, lift the right arm up from the shoulder blade, stretching all the way through the fingers, keeping the elbows completely straight. Let that elbow and shoulder blade down and then lift the left arm up. So we're just doing like a little marching with the shoulder blades. Inhale the right arm up, exhale the left arm up. So this is similar to what we were just doing with our hips. And you can see that the sacrum and the shoulder blades are very similar. They're mirrors of each other. The hip joints, the shoulder joints. Warming up each part of our body. All right, one more on each side. And then we're going to take the hands by the hips. The legs are now straight, and we're going to lift the left arm and the right leg. So the arm will come all the way to the ground, and the leg will come up as far as feels good with the knee straight. So stretching through the fingers, pushing through the heel. All right, one more on each side. And again, let's just do a little mini shavasana, letting your body integrate that movement. All right, we're gonna now do a little bridge. So if you do have anything under your head for bridge, take it out because it's hard on the neck. So bringing your feet as wide as the hips, brush the ankles with your fingertips. If your back feels tight, you can step the foot away just a few inches. And then we're gonna lift the hips up just 1 inch off the ground with an inhale, and then we're gonna exhale, set it down, lift the hips 2 inches off the ground, exhale, set it down. And as you come up and down, look, coming up 3 inches, really feel this movement along the back of the vertebra, the spine. Lifting 4 inches, coming down, inhaling up 5 inches. And as you get higher and higher, you're going to want to slow it down until you can massage the spine all the way up 6 inches. I hope everyone brought their measuring tape. Let's go 7 inches. And then go all the way up as high as you can. And then clasp the hands underneath, walk the shoulder blades together, and really lift up. Pushing to your height, max height. And then let's come all the way down, but come down very slowly, unclasp the hands, and then even a little bit of moving back and forth as you come down, massaging the back. And then you can either stretch out the legs or leave them bent and just do a little mini shavasana. All right, so while we're here, we're gonna do some hamstring work. We're gonna take the right leg up, clasp the hands behind the thigh, and then press the leg away into the thigh. So we spend a lot of time warming up the hamstring so it's now ready for this more dynamic, or for this more static stretch. All right, one more breath. And then let that leg go. And we'll take the left leg up, clasp the hands behind, and press the leg into the hands. So when we press the leg into the hands, we're activating the hamstring isometrically. So we're pressing the leg into the hands versus pulling the leg towards our face. All right, one more deep breath. And then you can set this leg down. All right, we're gonna make a wave with our body, okay? So first we're gonna lift the legs up. It can just be like an inch or two. And then we're gonna set that down. Then we're gonna lift our hips up. And then we're gonna set that down. And then we're gonna lift our chest up. And then we're gonna lift our head, okay? And then we're gonna go backwards, lift our head, lift our chest, lift our hips, and then lift the legs. And now we're going to come back through the legs. So go at your own pace, lifting each part, working each part of the body's muscles, trying to keep them in order. You can inhale as you're lifting, exhale as you drop. And notice which part is hardest for you. All right, let's just do one more wave. So whichever direction you are, do that one. And then just rest. All right, we're gonna roll over onto our belly and do some more belly core related work. So if you want to look at me before you lay down, so you can just see without straining your neck. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to, if you have a pillow or a blanket, I highly recommend you put it under your forehead for this. So the way it's going to work is I'm going to be resting my forehead on something. If you don't have anything, you could keep your head lifted, but that's going to be tiring. So we're going to take our hands behind our sacrum, and then we're going to be stretching the arms straight. I'm running into my wall, but hopefully you can move away from a wall. Straight through my fingers, my elbows are straight, and bringing my arms back. So I'm keeping my arms as straight as possible until I have to bend them to bring them back on the sacrum. And then at the same time as I'm doing that, I'm going to be lifting the legs. So you can either lift through the head up, or you can keep the head resting depending on how tired your neck is. All right? So that's the movement. Excuse me. So go ahead and start. So inhaling up, exhale down. So we're working on full range of motion of the shoulders. So keep going. I'm just trying to rearrange myself so I'm not hitting my wall. Working on core strength. We're using our glutes as we lift our legs. And some really a full body movement here. And if you're lifting your head up, then you're also working your neck. All right, let's just do one more. And then you can rest. You can put your arms wherever feels good. Shake out the hips. And just rest. All right, we're going to work on a little back bend so you can move the pillow out of the way. We're going to come up on our forearms. So press the toenails and the pubic bone firmly into the ground, engage the lower belly. And we're going to start off by looking down. So now we're warming up the back. So looking down, let's do 5 deep breaths in our little sphinx. If you feel any tightness in the lower back, engage the lower belly even more. And 5. And go ahead and make a little pillow with your hands. Shake out the hips. Let's do 5 deep breaths into the lower belly. Long and smooth. and 5. And then come on up. This time we're going to look up, and you can either straighten the elbows, pressing the toenails and the pubic bone firmly, or you can keep your hands down and just look up. Either one, depending on your back. So let's do 5 deep breaths. Long and slow. And 5. And lower down. And let's go ahead and shake out those hips. Shake them out. Okay, we're going to push ourselves up into a table. And we're going to do some cat-cow. So we'll drop the head down, pressing our pubic bone in towards our forehead. Pushing through the shoulder blades, and then inhale forward, coming up, looking up. Bring your tailbone towards the sky, and then just move back and forth at your own pace. All right, do one more. And then we're going to bring the right leg through the hands into a lunge, and then we're going to do a little lunge flow. So pushing forward into a lunge, feeling a nice opening on the psoas. Look up. And then we're going to exhale, forward fold over the hamstring. So if you want to make this harder, what you can do is come up onto the back leg. So the left leg can straighten and the knee can come off the ground. And then you can bring your body over in this direction. So that's an option for you if you want to try that. Either way is fine. All right, this is the last one. Go both directions. And then bring the right leg back to meet the left. Bring the left leg forward. Coming into a nice deep lunge, feeling a good stretch in the psoas. And then forward folding over your hamstring, feeling a good stretch in the hamstring. So when you do this, you can have the option of lifting the knee off the ground. So I'll show what that looks like. So this is working more towards a split, if that's something you want to work on. It's just an option, it's not required. All right, let's just do one more in each direction. And then we're going to bring that left leg back, and we're going to work on chaturanga. Chaturanga practice, yay. That's a good way to warm it up. So chaturanga, aka tricep push-ups. There's lots of options for this. One of them is to put a set of blocks or pillows underneath you, if you have that. And you want to bring the thumbs basically like underneath your, I don't know, maybe it's your ears, okay? So the thumbs are near the ears. You're rotating the elbows so that the line of the elbow is facing forward. It's really important for the changing of the elbow, for the bone to be in the shoulder socket. You want it to be turned out, okay? So push the elbows so that the line is facing forward. Then you're bending the elbows, bring the elbows towards your rib cage. You want to squish the rib cage, and then you want to lift up. So you only want to come down as far as feels safe and that you can lift back up. So some people want to drop all the way down and they can't get back up. I'd rather go 1 inch down, push up. So whatever format you're doing, let's do 10. So dropping down. I'm going to demonstrate the 1 inch. If you can do a lot more, that's fine. Only come down as far as feels safe. Rubbing the elbows, really pulling those elbows into the chest. All right, this is my last one. Everyone's self-policing today. And then let's push back into child's pose. So touch the big toes together and then spread the knees, stretching the arms overhead. Press back. You can let your head drop if it reaches the ground. And let's do 5 deep restful breaths in our child's pose. Okay, 5. Great. So we're going to come around and now do our squat practice. No, what warm it up yoga wouldn't have a squat in it, right? So remember, there's lots of options for squatting. If you have blocks, you can always put them underneath your hands. If you need to put a blanket or a pillow behind your heels because you find your heels are in the sky, you want to be in a place where you can rest, okay? So once you get into it, we'll bring the hands together. We're going to stay let's stay for 2 minutes. Come on, we can do this. 2 minutes, okay? Warm it up, warm it up. So let's just examine our body. What's going on here? So notice your toes. You can move your toes around. Your whole foot. All the muscles of the foot are working hard here. The ankle's working hard. Your calves. Sometimes people get shin splints here. So if you feel tightness in the front, you can actually tap it. Tap it, massage a little bit. Because I find that some people really have a very tight shins right here. That muscle on the outside of the shin. You can also bring your legs a lot farther and also point the toes out. There's no, squat police that are going to come around and make sure. I think people judge themselves very harshly. Oh, we just passed 1 minute. So good job. All right, so let's come back. Calves. Notice if your calves are very tight. Someone just told me earlier today that you could put a blanket between your thighs and your calves. I'm still trying to play with this. I don't totally know what it does. But I feel like it makes it hurt worse. So I'm not totally sure if it's like helping or what, but she loved it. So that was interesting. All right. So notice your calves are working hard. All the muscles of the knee. So you can just take a look, touch your knee, get to know it, explore it a little bit. It's actually not a lot of poses that we get to look at our knees this up close. And then feel the hips. You can even pick your hands back, touch the tops of the glutes from the hips. All right, 3, 2, 1, press up into a forward fold. Whew. All right, you can pedal out the feet, the knees. Let the head drop. You can grab the elbows and just ragdoll. And let's do a little flow here, taking the right hand down to the left foot. Bend the right knee deeply. Lift the left arm into the sky. Exhale, the left hand down. Touch the right foot. Bend the left knee deeply. Reach the right hand to the sky. Just go back and forth at your own pace. All right, one more each side. Oh, and then just hang. Notice if your hamstrings are feeling more open. And then let's go ahead and roll up very, very slowly. Very nice. Okay, so kind of slowly, you can shake it out. Shake it out. Okay, so we're gonna work on some balance poses now. So you can always have a wall nearby or a couch or a table or something that if you feel like you need to grab onto it, that will help you feel more safe. So we're gonna start on our right foot. Bring the left foot onto either the ankle or the calf or the inner thigh. So we're gonna hold for a whole minute in our tree pose. All right, so inhale the arms up. And now we're working full body again, but in this direction. So micro bend the standing knee to make sure that you are not overextending that knee. And let's do a body scan. Again, check in with the toes. Are the toes gripping? Go ahead and loosen them. Feel the whole foot. Again, that foot is getting a good workout today. Check the ankle. The more you wobble, by the way, you can even stand on like a mat or a foam thing, like a pad, to make this even more challenging. Feel all the muscles of the knee, the quad, the hips, the whole torso, lifting the arms. And 3, 2, 1, and fly. Fly, my baby birds. Fly, fly, fly. Shake it out, shake it out. Whew. Standing on one leg is just a fantastic exercise and one of the tests of longevity. So it's really, really important to keep up the balance and the strength. All right, so let's bring our weight onto the left foot. The right foot can either go on the ankle, the calf, or the inner thigh. Lift the arms into the sky. And then we're gonna stay for a whole minute. So let's do again a body scan. Notice if you're clinging with the toes, you never want to. Wiggle the toes. Notice the whole foot. The whole foot is getting more and more muscly. Muscly is very good for the feet. Strong, muscly feet. Then the ankles working hard. The more you wiggle, the more the ankle's working and the more muscles are having to develop and grow. It's also squeezing the bone, making the bone thicker. Calf is wiggling, wriggling, all the muscles of the supporting the knee, the quadriceps, the hips, the glutes, the whole core, including the shoulders, the arms reaching into the sky, feeling so strong, building strength all the way up. 3, 2, 1, and everyone descend and fly about. Great. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. Okay, so we're gonna now do a little bit of a challenge work here, a little bit of warmth building with a flow. So the flow is like this. So we're gonna stand at the top of the mat. You can join me if you want to. We'll inhale the arms up, bringing the right knee up to our chest. Then we're gonna step back into a lunge. Then we're gonna open up into a warrior two. So bring the heel down, looking over the left hand. And then we're going to bring the right hand back into our crescent or lunge pose. And then we're gonna bring the right leg back into the chest and set it down. Bring the hands down, okay? So now let's do the other side. So we inhale the arms up, bring the left knee into the chest, step back into a crescent pose, open up into warrior two, then bring the heel back up, bring the arms up into a crescent. You can look between the hands to make it even more challenging. And then inhale, come back up, bring the knee into the chest, and then exhale the leg down. So that's the little flow. We're gonna repeat it one more time on each side. Inhale the right knee up with the arms. Exhale, back step into a lunge. Look between the hands to challenge the balance. Stepping forward, bring the knee up to the chest. Oops, I'm sorry. Opening up into warrior two on the left side. And then exhale, come into your lunge. And then bring the right knee in with balance. Bring the arms down. We'll do the left side. Inhale the left knee up. Exhale back into your lunge. Open up into your warrior two. Looking over the right hand. Inhale the arms up, looking between the hands. And then exhale, bring yourself up back into your Tadasana. Okay, let's do it one more time. We really got it now. So you can go at your own pace. So I'm not gonna call it out. Just go ahead, starting with the right knee. All right, whenever you finish up the right side, let's start on the left side at your own pace. Great job. Good, shake it out, shake it out. Okay, so now we should be really, really warm. So we're gonna come now into a goddess pose. Okay, so goddess is two right angles on the knees, and we bring the arms up strongly into biceps, and then we're gonna do this little movement where we straighten the legs and straighten the arms and go, yay! Okay, so you have to say it at home. Ready? Yay! 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 You have to smile. Yay! Yay! All right, let's just do one more. Make strong biceps. Yay! And then we'll do a forward fold. So take the legs out wide. Oh, and just relax. Feel your heart beating. Let your head hang. You can shake out your head. Bring the forearms down to the ground or into blocks, depending if you have such nice things or pillows. Just let your head hang and breathe. Feel your heart beating. All right, 2 more deep breaths here. And then we're gonna heel toe the feet in. And then we're bringing the feet down or bring the butt down. Oh, come into a seated pose. All right, so we're gonna come on our back and do a little happy baby. So we're almost ready for Shavasana. So if you want to grab your socks or sweatshirt, because we're going to start cooling it down now. So we warmed it up and now it's time to cool it down. So pulling yourself into your happy baby, grabbing the outside of your feet, and let's rock back and forth. You can bring the feet by the sits bones. Massage out the sacrum and the glutes. You can bring the feet by the belly button. Massage the middle back. And then bring the feet all the way up if you want to by your head. And massage all between the shoulder blades. And then you can rock. So touching the toes before you and behind you. And if you want to, you can rock into a plow pose. So the plow pose is the feet overhead, touching behind your head. It might be too much. If so, don't worry about it. You can just continue to rock, but you could try it if you want to. And just never look to the side when you're in a plow pose because it's not a good place for your neck to be turning. And then when you're ready, you can roll down into your Shavasana. So if you have a blanket, you can pull it over your body. Just stretch out and rest. So feeling your whole body just rest. Feeling warm. If you have a bolster or a pillow, you could put it underneath your knees. So Shavasana is not some extra added thing. It's really important because it lets your body integrate. And even they found with weightlifting that if you are able to rest in between sets or after working out, it makes your muscles grow stronger and more dense. They did biopsies. Aren't you glad you weren't part of that study? All right. So I'm going to read a little Pema Chodron as we lie here in our Shavasana. And I think this one that I picked is really a good one for all of us. So it's called Perfection is Like Death by Pema Chodron. We think that if we just meditated long enough, jogged or ate perfect food, that everything would be perfect. But from the point of view of someone who is awake, that is death. Seeking security or perfection, rejoicing in the feeling confirmed and whole, self-contained and comfortable is some kind of death. It doesn't have any fresh air. There's no room for something to come in and interrupt it all. We are killing the moment by controlling our experience. Doing this is setting ourselves up for failure because sooner or later we're going to have an experience outside of our control. Our dinner is going to get burned. Someone we love is going to be mad at us. Or we're going to find out someone can't come over for the holidays. The essence of life is that it is challenging. Sometimes it is sweet and sometimes it is bitter. Sometimes your body tenses and sometimes it relaxes and opens. Sometimes you have a headache and sometimes you feel 100% healthy. From an awakened perspective, trying to tie it all up, all the loose ends and finally get it all together is death, because it involves rejecting a lot of your basic experiences. There is something aggressive about that approach, trying to flatten out all the rough spots and the imperfections, smoothing it into a nice ride. To be fully alive, to be fully human and completely awake is to continually be thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to always be in a no man's land, to experience each moment as complete and new and fresh. So let's start to deepen our breath. Let's do some sighing. Stretch the arms overhead. Stretch through the legs. And then rolling up to sit. Let's just come to sit for a moment and check in with the aftermath of our practice today. So let's bring our hands together and check in with the emotional and mental state. See if there's been any shift. Remember our intention. And then let's inhale together for an Om. Inhale. Om. And may the benefits of this practice benefit you and everyone you meet. Namaste. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer. If you enjoyed this class, please click like, subscribe, share with a friend.